Hello, in this video we're going to show how to integrate your SecureX orchestration part of SecureX into Stealthwatch Cloud and Stealthwatch Enterprise. In SecureX, in order to run any workflow, you have to actually have a target and account keys. So for Stealthwatch Enterprise, to specify a target, you click on Targets. Then to create a new target, you specify it has to be an HTTP endpoint. For Stealthwatch, I'm going to specify my SMC. In this case, this is my Stealthwatch installation. I'm going to use also by default for the account keys, I'm going to specify no account keys to be true. And then for the HTTP request, it's going to be an HTTPS request. The host address, you specify your own host address. I'm going to specify just a virtual one now. 1.1.1.1 as an example. Specify the port. It has to be port 443. If you are using any specific proxy, you can actually specify this proxy to use it. In this case, we're not going to use a proxy. One thing to know is currently this SMC has to be publicly accessible. The API section of that has to be publicly accessible from the active orchestrator. At a specific later stage, there will be an proxy that can be used in order to go to that specific API proxy on-prem in order not to reflect the SMC directly to be accessible from outside. So I'm going to create submit. This is how to create your SMC section. Also, you need to create account keys. To do that, for Stealthwatch Enterprise, we have to specify variables to create the username and password that can be used for querying APIs. So in Stealthwatch, specifically for Stealthwatch Enterprise, we have to create two variables. One is going to be the username. We can specify it as a string. Display name, this is my SMC user. And then you can specify if it has to be a global variable, and the value is going to be, in this case, you can specify which user. Typically, we use the admin user or a specific API user if you have created one. I'm going to click submit. Then we have also to create another variable which has to be specified as a secure string. This one will contain the password you're going to use for your user that we have specified. This is the my SMC. I'm going to specify password. Then it's a global variable, and the value you can specify that value here. It's going to be, I'm going to put any password, my password, nothing specific, as an example. So once you created those, you can get started by creating a different cases where you can actually run these, or workflows you can run them on the specific target using these information. For Stealthwatch Cloud, you go back to targets, you specify a new target. It also has to be an HTTP endpoint. In this case, also my SWC underscore system. I'm gonna say also the account keys has to be no account keys by default. The protocol is also HTTPS. The host address, this one is going to depend on your Stealthwatch Cloud installation. Usually it goes like Cisco, for example, for us, username and then dot observable.com, for example. This is you're gonna retrieve this from your actual Stealthwatch Cloud login. Also, the port has to be 443, and you can specify a proxy if needed for the actual integration. And then you can click on submit. This is a Stealthwatch Cloud system. Also, for the Stealthwatch Cloud, we're not going to use the account keys. We have to use a new variable. The new variable has to be a secure string in order not to display the password. The display name, it's going to be my SWC API key. In this case, you have to get your API key from your Stealthwatch Cloud environment, and the value is typically, I'm gonna show it for now, username dot API key. This is actually how it looks like in your Stealthwatch Cloud environment, and then you can click submit. Usually these values is like, just giving an example, it's typically your username that you use to log in, depending on the API key you have created, and the whole API key. So this is how you do your initial setup in order to create actual workflows with SecureX Orchestration and Stealthwatch, either Cloud or Enterprise. So for Stealthwatch Cloud specifically, to get your actual credentials, the endpoint URL, you retrieve it from the base URL of your environment, depending on your environment specifically. And for getting the credentials, you go on the top right side for the user-like icon, you choose your settings, and then you go under the user. You can actually see your actual current API credentials, and you can click the generate new keys to generate new keys. And this is the keys you're gonna use for the integration with Stealthwatch Cloud. So if you go back to SecureX Orchestrator, this is the video has shown how to integrate basic integration first for Stealthwatch Cloud and Stealthwatch Enterprise. Tune in for the other videos. Hopefully this has been informative for you guys.